next
I
day.
bet it sells quick.
So I'm thinking it may. The sign's been up for like 2 weeks. They put the sign up. So she's had some inquiries already. So I'm thinking it'll be pretty good though. The last one that sold in there was only up for about 2 weeks or something. So it's good.
Here's the signing.
We will. Awesome, thank you. Let me
Yeah.
grab my
Give it
stuff.
one. For you. Okay, there's signing things.
Hi. Is your hi? Giovanna Giosa.
Hi, good to see
Nice,
you.
good to see you too, sir. Hi, Giovanna Giosa, nice to meet
Hi,
you.
I'm Michelle Robertson. Nice to meet
Hi,
you.
Giovanna Giosa.
Hello again.
Good.
Thank you.
Good to see you.
They need to read Dr. Murphy.
Hi.
Alex, nice to meet you. Betsy Bryan.
Hi, Betsy.
Hi. I'm with you at the Lake Tornado CDC.
Alex, nice to meet you.
Hi, I'm Michelle Robertson. Nice to meet you. Hi, nice to meet you.
Yeah.
Did you?
The signing.
Yes, I have it over here.
Alex, are you signing in for all of us?
If you want.
Melanie is running a few minutes late. She was stuck in her classroom and she will be here shortly.
Yeah.
Is Jeanette still joining us?
You're right.
Is Miss Jeanette?
Supposed to be.
Okay, all right.
There she is.
Sorry.
You're good. Thank you.
I'll leave this for her. Just kidding. That's still a train.
Welcome back.
Thanks. Hello. Hi, I know.
All right, good afternoon,
Great.
everyone.
How are you?
It's just after 4:15, so we'll go ahead and call the first meeting of the meet and confer process, preparing for the 2021 school year to order. My name is Tom Hancock. I'm the Director of Human Resources for the Cartwright School District, and the Chair for the Board Administrative Team. With joining me this year on our team is Dr. Ed Murphy, the Assistant Superintendent of HR, Michael Delasanti, the Assistant Director of HR, Janet Hecht, the Principal at Squatoni Elementary School,
Hi.
and Michelle Robertson, Teacher on Special Assignment for Human Resources. I'd like to give Ms. Joseph an opportunity to introduce your team as well.
Hi, good evening. This is not. Task 1. Figure out the mic. Hi, good evening. My name is Giovanna Giosa, and I'm from Academy for Success. I'm a school social worker there, and I'm tonight's meet and confer chair. To the right of me, I have Betsy Bryan, and I also have Shelley Knight, and Melanie Cobos will be joining us soon, and I have Alex Casares. Casares. Thank you. Sorry about that.
Thank you. The next item on our agenda today is just to review the norms for our meetings. So I do have in front of me just the draft from last year. So the first one from last year, and we can kind of collaboratively make some changes to this if we need to, or leave them the same. The first one was that the meetings will begin and end at the appointed time. The second was spokespersons may recognize other team members to speak when appropriate, and a caucus may be called on mutual agreement of the chairs. And team members will display courtesy and respect for each other during the meet and confer process by being attentive to the topic, practicing active listening, and approaching each topic under consideration with an open mind. One big thing for me is definitely going to be the efficiency and time. I know that we're all very busy, and I certainly want to begin and end on time, which may not always go to 6:15 if we are done with that meeting's business. Is Is there anyone that would like to add, change, suggest any changes to the norms or new ones?
As a team, we'd like to propose to have a 2-week turnaround for any proposals that we have. So within 2 meeting dates, in most cases, if we could have a response by that time.
So just to clarify your proposal, so for example, if something is suggested on February 6th, you said 2 meeting dates, so then that would be a response by February 27th?
Correct.
Okay.
Mhm.
I think that will work, and I'd also like to, in that same category, propose that there won't be any new proposals brought forward after the March 26th meeting that's on our schedule.
Okay.
So what I will do is I will add those 2 items to the norms and bring them as our norms going forward for the next meeting on the 30th.
We would also like to add a norm about conduct and respects, and we can work on the verbiage regarding this. But just in terms of making sure everything is student-focused and we're always professional in our language and how we're treating each other.
Do you think it's captured on, with team members will display courtesy and respect for each other during the meet and confer process? We could certainly add something with, with a student-centered focus or something like that?
Yes,
Okay.
thank you.
Any further discussion about norms? If not, we're talking meeting dates a little bit already, but we can go to the meeting dates. And I do have, all of you do have in front of you, the meeting dates proposed.
I'm sorry, before we begin, we would also like to request that we go around and ask people how they would prefer to be addressed. If they want to be addressed as Mr. or Miss, or just their first name, or like doctor, however they want it to be prefaced.
Fair enough. Start with Michelle.
I'm fine with my first name.
I'm also fine being addressed by Janet.
Michael is fine.
I think we've traditionally been pretty informal, so I'm fine with Ed. Just, try not to call me names.
Same.
Okay, perfect.
I'm fine with Alex. It's Shelley, right?
I go by Shelley at my school, yeah.
Shelley.
Okay.
I can go Betsy. Betsy's fine.
Good afternoon, everyone. I would like to introduce Melissa Cobos.
Melanie?
Melanie Cobos, I'm sorry.
No worries. Sorry, for my tardiness, I had all of the proposals all laid out and then I dropped them all on the floor.
Yeah.
Didn't you figure? My name is Melanie Cobos and I'd like to be addressed as Melanie.
And you can address me as Gia. Yes. Mhm.
Sounds good.
Thank you.
So looking at moving on to the next item of the meeting dates, in front of you have the meeting date list. And that gives us to the final approval, governing board approval at the April 23rd, 2020 meeting. So we will make sure that the agendas are reviewed in advance. Gia, you'll receive a copy of that prior to publishing, and then we'll publicly post them as we did for this meeting. Moving on to the next item, which is the procedures for meet and confer. And I'll turn that over to the CEA team.
questions.
Sure.
So, one of the topics, thank you, is our back to work week.
And we'll go to the topics next. As far as the procedure for meet and confer, I think that may have already been addressed when we were talking about the norms. And then the proposals of the 2 meeting turnaround. So if you're comfortable with the traditional approach of proposal, counter proposal from either side, sticking to our norms, that would be the procedure for the meet and confer.
Thank you for the clarification, please.
So now we can, any discussion on that, Wayne? Good. All right, so we can go ahead and move forward to the proposed topics for meet and confer.
Thank you.
For this agenda item, thank you for passing out the detailed list of the topics that you want to address. For the sake of efficiency, we certainly can see what's on here. If you would like to go through them, you certainly have that opportunity. But I'm going to make an assumption that any proposals brought forward will be within these topics throughout the process. So without any objection from any team member on either side, I think we're okay with just the list at this point.
Okay.
So moving on to our list of topics.
Thank you.
So doing the same thing for our topics as the previous agenda item, we'll just stick with passing them out and then address them throughout the process as we go. Any discussion or questions about that? All right, so we can move on to agenda item D, new proposals. So new proposals from CEA can be presented at this time. Just referring back to our norm, a response in any form will be within 2 meeting dates. When we're reviewing proposals, one of the things I'd like to submit is kind of a norm for the proposal section, is I don't want you to have to yada, yada, yada over the best part of the proposals, but maybe just the title and what the function within the district that will come from the proposal, instead of going through the entire proposal full length. And your team has the floor, so it's.
Okay.
Did you want to speak to it here, or would you, because I don't.
I'll introduce it, and then I would like to pass the mic on to my teammate Shelley. The first proposal that CA is bringing tonight is a class size caseload. And this really pertains to, research that we have found about general education inclusion and the number of students per classroom. So I'll now pass on the mic to my teammate Shelly.
Hi, good evening, everyone, and thank you for allowing us the opportunity to bring this forward to you guys. One of the big things in this is really looking at the number of students teachers are responsible for in the classroom, and then also as far as their caseload, because we know not every teacher has students in their classroom 100% of the day, but they may work with a large number of students at a time. The first part of this proposal really goes over the regular ed classrooms. We can read what's on there. Do you guys want me? Okay. So in the regular ed classrooms around the district, they are very large. And research has shown that with these large class size, the student achievement gap is not as great as if it were a smaller class size. There have been studies that have been conducted for longitudinal studies for over 20 years that show that a decrease in class size can increase student achievement by 38% for class sizes that are under 20 students. Arizona licensing recommendations are 1 to 20 students in grade level. And then in a room with a 4-year-old, it's even a lower ratio of a 1 to 15. It increases test scores, there's improved graduation rates, better behaviors. Students with special needs are caught earlier and therefore, in some cases are exited from special ed quicker because they do receive more of the individual instruction. We've also noticed that with larger class sizes, there's a great hardship on the teacher. As a teacher myself, I know I take a lot of work home with me, and the larger my caseload is, the larger my class sizes are, the more work I'm taking home, and I'm not able to complete during my contract hours. So this can also, having a smaller class size, a smaller caseload, can also reduce the stress a teacher might feel once they leave school. Any questions or comments?
I don't have any questions. Team, any questions or follow-up? I think with a proposal like this, we'll definitely need to do some research and take a look at it, and then come back with either a response / counter proposal by the February 6th meeting.
The next topic that we would like to bring up is a proposed change to employee rights of classified staff. And I will allow my teammate Betsy to speak on this topic.
A couple of you might think this looks familiar, as it does from last year. I do remember Dr. Murphy asking us to take it to the CAC Advisory Council, and we have done that, and we were advised that maybe we should have it at the meet and confer table for discussion. With this being said, our classified handbook does not have much in there, especially for rights. That's why we're calling this section 1. There is not really a section 1 in there. And as we know, all the employees of our school district are considered assets. And to let them know that there are basic rights given to them with their positions would be beneficial across the board. Some of these are not actually explained in depth at any given time to the employees. So to be able to have this in the handbook, so when they do go through their handbook, that they can refer to them would be a nice gesture.
Just a follow-up question. Number 25 on your topic list is staff handbook alignment. Can you clarify a little bit if something will be proposed later, at a later date, regarding aligning handbook? What does that mean in relation to the classified handbook or support staff handbook?
Right now, our staff the classified staff handbook does have quite a few of the district policies and procedures in it, as it should. And we would like to see the alignment of not only those with the certified staff, but also with some other basic inherent rights, such as grievance procedures and so forth. When we say alignment, it's something that would look similar to the wording that is universal across the district for all employees, and that's what we'd like to align up.
And one of our topics on our list is the number of handbooks that we currently have. We have 3. We have a substitute handbook, we have a support staff handbook, and then we have the teacher handbook. What I'm thinking in it as a response to this proposal, again, this is a large item, in 2 meetings or less, would be to look at discussing these proposed topics, language, as well as maybe some combination of handbooks. And we will not need the substitute handbook going forward. So we'll look into that and see if we can combine that with some of our thoughts as well.
Here. They're just not stapled. Those are out there, they're just not stapled. Yeah, they're just not stapled. Yeah. So sorry, I again dropped it on the floor, so I'm trying to fix it and arrange it. So that Thank you. Thank you. I'll get one more. find a
I
way.
need two more.
Okay. Say it again. I'm talking to. Oh, I got a white copy. I can take the white copy. Take away from her.
Thank you. Okay.
There we go. One, two, I'm gonna need a third. Here's the heart of it. Thank you, you're welcome. I'm sorry I dropped it.
No, I got one.
Give it to Heidi.
Oh, no, I got
did
the
you?
white copies for that.
Oh, here, then we'll give this to Heidi.
Yeah,
And you can have the green.
yeah, yeah.
Appreciate that so much.
It's easier to upload the white copies.
Yeah, it is
Mhm.
easier to upload.
Yep, they come up cleaner.
Thanks.
CA would like to request a caucus. Sure.
A caucus? Yeah, let's lift it them
Yeah, probably should. How long are you thinking?
to like 5 minutes, right?
Yes. Thank you.
We're in the midst of the contract for a study. Yeah. Mhm. My question.
I'd like to add a couple things to our list.
Well, that's fine.
Okay.
We've never said we could, you know, it doesn't really limit us, it's just a
Okay.
preliminary indication.
I'm just the messenger.
Okay, no, that's
This
good.
part of an ongoing process right now. Isn't this what
Yeah, that's fine, that's fine.
Feedback, and give it to me.
Yes.
we pay some money to have this done?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And was this,
Oh my God.
I'm trying to catch up here. Is this already included somewhere? Okay, so they're saying a proposed change.
Well, yeah, it's a change, but it's something, it's in and of itself.
In and of itself to be inserted.
Yeah, but I can't, it's basically, it's a amplification.
How much redundancy is there? I mean, is this already lived in some ways?
Well, I think it parallels a lot of
Okay.
certifications.
Yeah, that's what I mean, if we were to do it, if we're gonna go to a combined, if it's a parallel,
What is that, is that interest-based, interest-based issue? My obvious question is the last one for us. Have we done cost analysis? Continue to increase cost of things, space and things increase. Because of the school. Yep. And I will guarantee you, whatever research they cite, I can combat it 100 times over. On the other side.
Okay.
Right.
can you, what is our staffing? Is it, what's
Enders 25.
4 to 6 is 32, and then 7, 8 is.
Okay. Teacher part-time, and then also the
Yeah.
contract.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was my first note. Where's the money gonna come from? Again, thinking, without details abroad, okay, if this is where you want the money to go, okay.
Yeah.
But,
45 minutes every day.
you know,
I'm
based
supposed to
upon
freaking out, yeah.
these counts,
I'm
I don't know if we'll be able to meet budget.
Yeah, because right now, the way it's written is with your only as
Yeah, we wouldn't be able to meet budget, meet current budget with that.
vacancy time 1 time a week, but it's also very dicey if you ask them to do anything else during the contract, because that's
Yeah.
Yeah,
theirs.
that's kind of.
It's interesting that we're having the caucus this early in the.
I know.
We're not
That's
making
not
decisions.
negotiable.
I know.
You know, we're not in debate over anything, we're just receiving
Yeah, I know.
proposals for consideration.
Yep.
So,
Yeah, but it's
Yeah,
even
I
just
get it.
during part-time.
Yeah.
Let's say,
8%
you think?
and they don't wanna meet. So I would say those are the big ones. Right, and see, we have it so much, that sometimes it's just. Cause I feel like we can, like I have to ask them permission to have conversations during the carpet if they don't want to. That's the problem. Yeah. Right.
and I always have this question, if we had $10 per day per student over 25, are we gonna take $10 away from them if it's less than 25? You know, if they've got a caseload that's significantly lower than the max, we just got, are we taking them per
Same
student?
thing too, free up collaboration.
Well, no, I agree if we take it the other way. Subtract it from the
Yeah,
contract.
that's what I mean.
They could say. Yeah.
Thank you so much for your patience. The next proposal is CA, are you ready? Thank you. Just wanted to. The next proposal CA would like to bring to the table tonight is for a classified job classification.
What?
The job classification. She has all the things. Perfect. Awesome.
We can go over it, it's very brief.
Okay.
This is just something simple, I do know that we have over 20 job 60 job subgroups easily. This is just putting it into what is a nationally recognized, classification of the 9 job class families. It doesn't mean that, you know, your building and grounds is gonna be locked into this as a building and grounds person, of course, they'll have their subcategory. It's just trying to tighten up the language, so we know, which job classification we fall under, and we can refer to it, as there's always a variety of number of jobs, and it's always, an incomplete list, no matter what. This is just a nationally recognized list of, the 9 job class families.
I do know that the district is currently working with a consulting firm to go through all job postings, classifications, descriptions, et cetera. So what I'm thinking would probably be the best thing with this particular proposal is to set aside the 2 meeting norm, so we can allow for that project to finish, to see if, it's already captured in that. We wouldn't need something such as this, and, it would end up being in the same area.
Yeah, this is just to tighten it up. Like I said, I do know that there's over 60 sub-job classifications. It's just a way to tighten up the job category.
So I think what we'll probably do is, going forward on the next agenda is thinking ahead to that, is bringing this one back later in the process. So if it's not on the pending proposal list, that's simply because we won't be discussing it, at that time, and then bring it back once that project has completed.
Yep, we can all agree to that. Is it possible for us to have a date when we might discuss it again then?
I can certainly provide that at the next meeting, an estimated date. I don't have the details with that particular project to be able to say.
Thank you. The last proposal that CA would like to bring to the table tonight is a change to representation of classified staff.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Before we're done, you guys will get tired of my voice. All this is placing something in the handbook to give us some actual guidance of representation for all classified staff members, which right now is not actually available verbatim for a classified staff member. And sometimes it is overlooked in general, and that's all we're asking, is just to give us a little guidance for representation of a classified staff member, which is already afforded to most of the employees of our district.
A couple items on this one, and just for discussion points. Meeting with a classified employee outside of the instructional day, typically those are non-compensated times. So for us to require an hourly employee to remain would actually violate labor standards. So we probably, again, just, we'll bring back a counter or thoughts, but just want to point that out. And then I appreciate the acknowledgement that typically it is being afforded already with the representation and 24-hour notice for possible disciplinary / conferences with administrators. I just want to clarify, and we can update this in our response. That is the certified disciplinary policy at the bottom. There is a separate one for classified employees, so we can make that update when discussing further.
Hi, Melanie Coble speaking to the chair. When we were looking at this policy, thank you for pointing that out, because we were looking at the framework of a paraeducator and trying to absolutely mirror the current language that is afforded to teachers. So that's, yeah, absolutely what we did. So thank you for that point, it's very relevant, thank you.
And that is the end of our proposals.
All right, well, we also had, this topic on our list. And obviously other topics may pop up, and I think as long as we stay within the proposal windows through March 27th, we'll all be in alignment with our norms. Appreciate everyone being on time and efficient with our words. And look forward to the rest of the meetings going respectfully, such as it did this evening. And at this point, if there isn't any questions, discussion, go ahead and adjourn the meeting, if everyone's all right with that. All right, thank you very much. Meeting is adjourned.
Thank you. Yay. In the books. Should kind of go to the order. Is it possible to have a 3-hole puncher here at the end so you can hole punch? If you don't mind, I'll bring it. Thank you. And the papers unorganized and We never went live on YouTube? No, something happened with the YouTube, it was not working, I checked the
We're good.
Okay, thank you. It never worked. It never worked. I texted one of the kids. I texted him. Oh, thank you. It was Jamie who was able to do it. No, sorry. I was like, what's happening? Yeah, I'm just gonna.
We can borrow one.
I know. I didn't think anything.
How's your year going? I haven't talked to you very much. That's a good thing. Haven't had any pencil incidents?
Everything we do is I run it through the filter. Dr. Murphy.
Okay, thank you, the new start.
Very nice to meet you.
Gia. Nice to meet you.
Just don't be dropping those on the floor every meeting. Melanie.
Right? This was me in the parking lot. Literally.
I remember that happened to me going to an arbitration down at the Department of Law downtown, the Attorney General's office.
And it has nothing to do with adults, it has everything to do
You
with
guys
small
supposed to
ones.
feel like
Stream of water, and I was trying to step through, and I got all my stuff.
Did it get wet? Did that get wet?
It's a lively
So, yeah, it happens to the best of us. At least you were in the classroom.
Yes, we
we
did
have like
that.
5 feet of snow.
No, that's fine.
Thank you for your
We have 5
patience.
feet of snow or something and just.
Good seeing you too, Jen.
You never felt I'd drop in this.
Hey.
Never felt.
Thank you.
I know her eyelashes, I was like.
I know, well, I can't compete with that. Like, I